Hello everybody, I am Sarah the Rainbow Hearted Witch. Thank you so much for your patience in the last 2 weeks of me not filming, recording, releasing a video. I have been super busy and I am so excited to talk to you this week about Blue Star Reiki. So I went to the Reiki Academy, I think that's what it's called. Let me see. I'm pretty sure it's the Reiki Academy with Reiki Rod in North Phoenix. And I know Rod from when I first moved out here. That's where, at Beyond Today, is where his previous healing center was, at Metro Center in Phoenix. And I met my good friend Barbara Buck and Melissa and so many amazing healers. And I actually rented space with Barbara for a very short time. I wasn't ready to give up the security of my 8 to 5 job yet. I was still surrounded with so much fear, even though I saw all these amazing energy healers and had so many great experiences there at Beyond Today, and people like thriving and successful doing this work. But I still had a lot of fear. I had known about Blue Star Reiki from that time, from 8 years ago, but it wasn't the right time, and it's so amazing. So I saw Reiki Rod's Blue Star Reiki class pop up on Instagram on the ads, and I just got really excited, and just in my soul, I didn't really think about it. I just was like, this is like the perfect time, and I signed up. And I've been waiting for this class. So, I had signed up kind of like months ago, just forever. I've been counting down, and then I got nervous. Then I got really nervous once I started receiving the emails about the class and what to expect and things. But as I walk in the door and I'm checking in, who comes up to me and gives me this huge hug? But my friend Audra, who I haven't seen in years. We follow each other on social media. Like, I follow Reiki Rod on social media, but I haven't seen her physically. And I know we both have grown and changed so much. And she's doing amazing things. So anyway, she comes up and gives me a huge hug. It's the first class that she's helped Rod facilitate in 8 years. She had just posted, she saw the same ad I saw, saying that it was the best experience, the best class she's ever taken. Now, in my previous Reiki video that I did about Reiki, which is universal life force energy that was channeled and brought to the United States, and you can watch my previous video about that. I'll link it above so you can go back and watch it. And I talk about this book, Magick of Reiki. So what's really great is that Christopher Penczak talks about Reiki, and he gives all the symbols, and he gives all these other symbols that aren't just for 1st degree, 2nd degree, and 3rd degree, but he also gives channeled symbols that other people have. He also talks about modern Reiki traditions. So it goes through all the Usui Reiki, which there's a lot of offshoots of that. Then there's also the Radiance Technique. I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. Shizum, Terama, Karuna, which for a long time I wanted to take Karuna Reiki. I felt very drawn to that. Shambhala Reiki, Shamanic Reiki, which I took Shamanic Reiki in Rhinebeck, New York, not long before, or not too soon before I moved out here to Phoenix. And Shamanic Reiki was really great. I took that with, I think it was John Perkins and Lynn Roberts. It was amazing. It was a really great experience being there, and experiencing the energy, and it was great. I had a really cool journey doing that. I got to, with my actual eyes, after taking a journey, I saw a physical dragon flying up ahead. I mean, that wasn't the first mystical creature that has shown itself to me. When I lived in Vermont, I actually saw a fairy in physical form. We're not talking like with my third eye. I saw a fairy. It was really cool. It's kind of like you do a double take, like, what? Am I actually seeing this? It's very cool. So anyway, back to the different types of Reiki. There's also Chaos Reiki, Jori Reiki, Magnified Healing, Blue Star Reiki, Wei Chi, Tibetan Reiki, and I'm sure there's so many other types. So I'm just going to read the little blurb. This is on page 120 of the Magick of Reiki by Christopher Penczak. I can speak, I promise you. So it says, the founder of this tradition, John Williams, a South African Reiki master, originally called it Blue Star Celestial Energy, which he channeled from his spirit guides starting in 1995. The energy is said to bridge the gap between God and man via the Rainbow Bridge, and the knowledge of this system is said to have come from a source in an ancient Egyptian mystery school. Its aim is spiritual growth rather than immediate healing. Williams' student Gary Jirauch changed the system and renamed it Blue Star Reiki. Interestingly enough, there's a form of Wicca called Blue Star Wicca, though the two are not related. Now, I looked up Blue Star Wicca because after taking this class, I'm like, ooh, let me take all the Blue Star stuff that I can. Interestingly enough, the largest community of Blue Star Wicca is in Boston, Massachusetts, and southern New Hampshire, which isn't really surprising. That's where Christopher Penczak is located, is in southern New Hampshire. So it's not really that surprising. Another synchronicity, besides seeing a friend, Audra, who I haven't seen in, years, it was funny. If anyone knows me, I am not an organized person. I am very chaotic myself, very scattered. And I just grabbed a notebook. And this is my notebook that I've been using to take notes on astrology. And what's really cool is when we get to class and we start taking notes, we talk about kind of the history of Blue Star and how it started. And it actually builds off of the concepts from Alice Bailey, who was an esoteric astrologer and almost kind of like credited with the foundation of the New Age movement. So let's see, I have some information about her pulled up, but anyone who knows any of the history of the New Age will recognize the name. So she was born June 16th, 1880, and she died December 15th, 1949. She was a writer of more than 24 books on, we'll just say occult subjects, and was one of the first writers to use the term New Age. She was born in Manchester, England, and moved to the United States in 1907. So she'd cover topics such as how spirituality relates to the solar system, meditation, healing, and spiritual psychology. Esoteric Astrology is part of Alice Bailey's Ageless Wisdom teachings, which she said were relayed by her Tibetan master, Dejwal Kal. So it says the esoteric astrologer who follows the teachings of Bailey typically base their work on her 5-volume treatise on the 7 rays, particularly volume 3, which focuses on astrology. Her esoteric astrology deals with the evolution of soul consciousness and the obstacles to that evolution. So that's actually what we started the premise of the class with, was her understanding of astrology, and then it grew from there. So this blue star energy healing mainly comes from the Pleiades. However, it comes from the Trinity, the Pleiades, Sirius, and the Great Dipper. But I won't go too much into that because you will have to take the class to find out more. So I've already been asked by a friend of mine who is also a Reiki practitioner, who wanted to know, what is the difference between Reiki and Blue Star Celestial Reiki? And oh my goodness, the differences are mind-blowing. When you go into Reiki and you learn Reiki, you know you're learning a healing modality, and I understand why. So you have to have level 1 and level 2 of Usui Reiki completed before you can do Blue Star. Now, half the class there were Reiki masters, and then the other half had completed level 2 Reiki. Now, if I had just jumped into Blue Star Reiki where I was on my spiritual path when I started Reiki, there's no way. There's no way I could have done it. It would have been, my mind would have been like, I think it would have melted my mind, okay? As I've talked about before, I was raised very Christian. And it would have freaked me out. I would have been so terrified. And that's not to say that it's terrifying, but the concepts of Blue Star Reiki are very esoteric, very new age, for lack of a better word. It's very celestial. It connects you to the universe, which yes, Reiki does as well, but it brings it down to earth. It brings the celestial down to earth, where Blue Star Reiki takes you off world. It takes you to the stars. It connects you to your soul family, or star family, I should say. So Reiki, in Reiki 1, you're attuned to be able to give hands-on healing, and you're able to volunteer on oncology wards, and it's very accepted as a therapeutic healing, and it's wonderful. But nurses learn it and they use it. I'm not sure about doctors so much, but I know nurses and people go volunteer at hospitals and provide Reiki, and you can share Reiki with your friends and family and your animals. And animals, they really love the healing touch of Reiki, and it's very soft and gentle. For me, when I'm channeling Reiki, my hands get very hot, and it feels kind of like tingly, but mainly a lot of heat. Some people channel, their hands get cold. Some, it kind of feels like there's different sensations with it, but it's very relaxing. It's very it works really well with getting a massage and all of this. But the energy, which is universal life force energy, is channeled from above, and we act as the channel to direct, the energy to different parts of the body. Now, there's different hand positions. However, the energy goes to where it's needed. So you don't have to worry about, doing anything wrong. You can't manipulate the symbols. You can't have any ill intent with Reiki. It's very, there's like safeguards built in basically to the symbols. Now with Reiki 2, you are taught how to send Reiki from a distance. So you can work with Reiki. I liken it to a prayer. Prayer works. How? We don't know. That's the beautiful mystery of life, but we do know it works. And there are scientific studies that show that prayer works. And then when you become a Reiki master, you can attune others, and you can pass on the symbols and the attunements. And you learn at that point that you don't need to draw the symbols. You can just think about the symbols. I just chant them, and they're there, and the Reiki is flowing through me. I'm channeling it. So one of the emails before class said, you will be tested on Reiki level 2 symbols. And I kind of had a little freak out because I haven't drawn a Reiki 2 symbol in years because I don't use the symbols. I just chant them. I think he was just being silly because we weren't tested on the Reiki 2 symbols. We didn't have to, draw them out and prove our worth, which was good. I was very happy about that. So Blue Star Reiki, like I said, it takes you to the cosmos. It takes you out of this world. But what it does is it centers you into your heart. It anchors you into your heart, and it opens your heart. Now with Reiki, you are kind of taught, like, you go out there and you're like, you share Reiki with everybody, and you want to share it with everybody. You're always asking your friends, can I give you Reiki? Or I am, or my family, or Reikiing my pets. And you're not really taught boundaries, right? I mean, you are, because you ask for permission, and you let people come to you and ask, to give them Reiki. But it's very much about sharing the gift of Reiki. Whereas Blue Star Celestial Reiki is more about the self, and it's really about setting boundaries. So if any of you out there have already taken Reiki 1 and 2, I would definitely recommend, and you feel like, if you're not afraid of New Age concepts around aliens and life off planets, then I would recommend this. Now, if you have any fear around those concepts of the Pleiadians and the Sirians, then I wouldn't recommend this class. It's definitely very advanced. You have to have an open mind. So, when I first started Reiki, I was open-minded, and I thought I was open-minded, but like I said, I still had a lot of fear. I still had all of that baggage that I needed to, and conditioning that I needed to let go of. I had all of the fear to let go of. I mean, my first oracle deck was the Doreen Virtue's Angel Oracle. I'm not sure which one, but it was one of those. And I just, that's Doreen Virtue with her angels and her books on angels and Reiki. That's what got me into spirituality and going down this path. It wasn't until I moved out to Phoenix, because on the East Coast, it's very earth-based. It's more, Wicca and earth-based religions, and it's very earth-related, where in Phoenix, it's more celestial. It's more talking about the Sirians and the Pleiadians. And I mean, if you had told me 15 years ago that I would go to workshops and listen to a woman who claims to be a alien, a hybrid, I'd be like, no, I wouldn't do that. But I do that here, and it's amazing. Like, the energy she channels, in her workshops is so beautiful. And she's Arcturian, Arcturian hybrid. And I talked about her previously, and the energy that she channels and brings in and the healing it's amazing. So that's, you know, a journey that we all have to take in. Not everyone's ready for that. Not everyone is ready to say, embrace that, you know, maybe alien races, have seeded Earth, or that, you know, our souls are alien, or whatever that concept, right? So Blue Star Celestial Reiki comes from, you know, the stars, opens up your heart, and you just feel so open and loving, and you just feel so connected. The energy, it's different. It's weird. You know, you may be sending the energy to one part of the body, but it seems to always go to the heart. You feel it in your heart. It seems to work on our heart, which is interesting because the heart is the chakra of Earth. So isn't that interesting that this energy that takes you up to the stars, in a way, really works on anchoring you to the earth and to humanity? And even though it's about self and self growth and self development, and not going around and being like, can I give you Reiki? Can I offer you some Reiki? It's really about going within. What do you need? What are your boundaries? What do you need to heal? Where do you need to grow? What's your shadow? Look at your shadow. Why are you triggered on something? Let's heal that. So it's really about healing yourself in order to raise the consciousness of humanity and society. It's really about working on yourself and self-development, which is a totally opposite idea from Reiki, from Usui Reiki, which I love. And it's, like I said, a great stepping stone, and it's really great to start your path there. Start out easy, gently. You know, it's already kind of a hard enough concept for some people to say, wow, you're channeling universal life force energy. Because you can't see, even though it's all around us and it's what creates us, right? Like it's what sustains us. It's our spirit or soul, whatever you want to say. But that concept enough can blow in or melt people's minds, you know, whichever way you want to say it. So Reiki is almost, it's, you know, it's a gift to give to others, and it's still a gift for yourself, and it's still very spiritual, and it opens you up. I mean, it opened me up, but I can already see how much further my mind has been expanded. But not only my mind, but my heart has been opened. It was definitely divine timing. Not only, you know, just the synchronicities of reconnecting with old friends and things like that, but during the last 2 years, it's been tiring, especially with the work that I do and having to wear a mask all day and every day, and having people around me who are terrified. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I got caught up in it for a second, and I let fear at points rule me, but I was able to catch myself, thankfully, and step back and be like, whoa. And I know it helps that I have amazing people around me that I don't work with. I mean, I work with some amazing people too, just not on that level, you know. This class talks about the different level of consciousness that people have and the different types of consciousness that people bring in with them, and why certain people are the way they are, and kind of what's been going on. So being in the class, it was just a breath of fresh air to be with so many like-minded people who don't let fear rule them, and they don't watch the news, and they don't concern themselves with fear. And it was just so wonderful to be there, you know. And we of course got to practice on each other, and it was really sad after the class ended. I'm like, oh man, now I have to go back to the real world, and I'm so changed. And I know that's the whole point, is that, you know, you change yourself to change the world. And I know my outer world is changing. There's big changes coming, which I'm very excited about, and you all will hear about those soon. And another big change is I had to say goodbye to one of my pets who I had for almost 13 years. It would have been 13 years, like sometime this month or next month. You know, with animals, I don't really know exact, you know, we don't know exact dates of birth, right? So it was heartbreaking because I've had him for 13 years and he's been through so much, and he was such a great cat. He would meet me at the door, or, you know, he used to go outside at a previous place I lived, and he would go across the street to a neighbor's, hang out with her. She was elderly, and it was so sweet. He'd go hang out with her all day, and she knew when I'd come home, so she'd let him out, and he'd wait for me by, you know, where my parking spot was, and then walk me in. He'd meow all the way, tell me all about his day, and then I'd feed him, and he was just such a great cat. So I was really sad to say goodbye to him. It was really hard because you know, there was guilt, even though he was old and he kept getting blocked. But anyway, you know, guilt, right? Shame, like feeling like I should have done more. It's hard to say goodbye. So, and I'm a spiritual person, and I understand that there's no goodbyes, right? I understand that my cat Phoenix is still with me, and I understand the Rainbow Bridge, and I understand that there's another side, and it's interesting, but it's still like, I'm like, I understand all that, but I won't get to snuggle with him. I won't get to hear him purr. I won't get to hear his cute little meows. So with that, and this class will teach you how to, you know, manifest and create the life that you want, and to just be more authentically yourself. So I love that, and I'm so excited to see, because I feel a change within myself. I feel just this joy, just this peace, that I'm not one of those people who I can't hide my how I feel, like, on my face, but at the same time I don't wear my heart on my sleeve, right? And I'm not typically like the most open person, especially from being an empath. I have so many people who will just come up to me and ask me questions. When I used to ride the bus when I first moved out here, I had one woman, she came up and she was asking me about college. I've had other women, you know, just tell me their whole life story within their first 5 minutes of meeting them, or just talking to them on the bus, just having a conversation. And, you know, there's a part of me that I love that. I love that people feel that they can talk to me and ask me things. But there's the flip side. There's the people who, at times it feels unsafe, right? You know, when people are asking for money or they want to get aggressive with you, you know. So I kind of walk around, you know, putting up this very like tough front, very aggressive. And I know people say, like, in the way I speak, sometimes I'm very direct. And I don't mean anything by that directness. I don't necessarily understand why I can't be direct. But I know that socially people don't expect a woman to be direct. And so it comes across as a little maybe rude or mean. And that's, you know, that's not what it is. So anyway, my whole point is that I just feel like so much lighter, so much more joy, that I don't know if I can walk around like that anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see how it is walking around like that, and I'll keep you guys posted. I'll let y'all know. But for any of you who are interested and are curious, or empaths out there who haven't taken Reiki yet, take Reiki 1 and 2, please. And then try to find a Blue Star practitioner. If you're in Phoenix, definitely Reiki Rod. Now, Reiki Rod has a Reiki share coming up this Friday. Lots of events. One of the women who was in the class, she's doing a healing meditation sound bath on February 25th at 7 to 8:30. And then there's a mystery school. And he does have a Reiki 1 and 2 class coming up March 12th. I do know that he is putting together a animal Reiki class, which I am super excited about. I'm hoping I get to go, because I've been wanting to take a Reiki animal class or animal communication class for a long time. It just usually falls through. So my good friend Audra, who, once I get this book read, I had bought her book on Kindle. It's called A Survivor's Memoir, Moving Mountains, A Hero's Journey by Audra Rene Weeks. So I actually bought a physical copy. So once I'm done reading it, we will be doing a Zoom and posting it on YouTube. She does Reiki healing, but she also does yoni steaming for anybody who's interested. So I'm sure we'll be talking about that when we talk. She has amazing things going that for her and things that she's doing, and I'm so excited to interview her. So I have so many books. I'm returning. I had other books that I had checked out from the library, but I'm returning them. I need to like focus on this, because this is what you know, this is the type of stuff I want to be reading. I feel like anything else and everything else is like a distraction or for entertainment, which that's fine. But that's just not what I need right now. And that's not what my soul is craving right now. I really want to be inspired, and I want to learn about people and, you know, support. Now, Rod Lyman, who's Reiki Rod, he has a book out too. Unfortunately, all his books were sold out. I plan on reading that as well, and hopefully I'll get to interview him as well. Like I said, he's an amazing healer, a great teacher. I definitely recommend learning Reiki from him if you're in the Phoenix area, and definitely take his Blue Star Reiki. There's not a lot of Blue Star practitioners out there, or teachers, not that I know of. He's the only person I know of who does it, and it's literally out of this world, and I can't explain. It's just so much more powerful. But for me, the huge difference is how it affects my heart and the joy that it just fills me with. Joy is all I can say. Like, I love it. Like, it's a beautiful thing. And even though this is about, the other difference is that you self-attune yourself with this. At work, I'm telling people all the time, I see people give away their power. They think I know more than they know. I don't know more than they know. And I see on the daily basis people giving away their power. And I'm telling people all day, every day, take responsibility for yourselves. Take responsibility. Stop giving your power away. I literally said that to a woman last week. And I think it's so funny that the universe put this class in my path when it did. It's like, okay, girlfriend, you keep telling people that. It's time that you stop giving your power away. You're going to learn some Blue Star Reiki, and you're going to walk the talk. So it helps you set boundaries. It helps you understand that you are a creator, and that through your higher self, it's you, right? So without giving too much more away, I just highly recommend Blue Star Reiki. And from my heart to your heart, I wish you guys nothing but love. I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you like this video, please hit the like button down below, and please subscribe. I will be uploading videos every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Arizona time. Bye guys.